YouTube, what's good? It's your boy, Paul Harris, aka the Crazy Uncle. Hey, guess what? If this is your first time tuning in, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell every time I post some new content. Y'all gonna have to excuse me. I'm still getting stuff set up here. Today we're gonna try something new. It really ain't new, right? It's just for the simple fact that it's new because I'm actually really doing it on my laptop here. But we're gonna call this one Freestyle Friday. You know, actually, this was actually really unexpected for me. Uh, but you know what they say. You know, you always got to be on the ready to make things happen. So we're gonna hopefully it should be still this right here. It still should be as simple as it's like as if when I did it on my phone or what have you. So we're actually really gonna see what happens, what takes place. As you can see, here's my phone right here. So we're actually really gonna try to see if this actually works, and we're gonna see if this actually works, and hopefully this time around, right, we actually really won't have no hiccups like how we did. Uh, Cause we actually really tried this on Monday, and I mean, like I said, I'm usually pretty good with it, you know, as far as like just having, one person on, you know, and it's actually like really no problem. I mean, sometimes, oh shit, you might have I might have a couple of hiccups here and there, right? But all in all, just like two people, right? You know, really, I mean, the difficulties were there, but it's you know, it it usually just like I said, you have damn hiccups here and there, right? And we could actually really get through the actual broadcast, whatever. But Monday was just ridiculous, and hopefully we can actually really bring some of that to y'all on this actual on this actual on this particular episode, whatever particular episode show, whatever the case may be. So I'm just gonna sit up here, you know. For the most part, y'all already know what the fuck is going on, right? The whole Jerry Jones thing is still, that shit storm is still, uh, it's still up and going, you know. But then you got some other stuff that's going on. Um, for those y'all that know, um, Alex Jones, he um, he filed for bankruptcy due to what he did as far as like the Sandy Hook or whatever. Amazon saying that they are not going to take down that documentary, right? Which within itself is rather interesting, because for the most part, y'all have to actually go back a few episodes or a few shows where that I actually really told y'all, about the whole deal. about about, as far as like, okay, well, what, what is it, that is, you know, what is it, actually like really means to be Hebrew, right? So, for the most part, this should be a very interesting show. I really, I'm type, I've always been the type of person, right? That no, come on, cause I'm waiting for them to come on. Oh, okay. So for the most part, uh, anybody can get on here on their soapbox or whatever, or on their channel, right? And they get on here and they can look at what's actually really going on in the world today, whether it's actually really through the internet, or whether it's through the internet or television, whatever the case may be, right? So, and then you can be like, and you catch it, and then anybody can actually really get on here, and then they can actually really get on, and they can actually really say it themselves, or they can actually really invite people where that they can actually really give their actual honest opinion about the subject or subjects that they're actually really going to be talking about for that particular day, right? So, and y'all already know how I feel about giving opinions, right? If it's I actually like really like to deal in straight fact, right? Um, Not that it's my fact, but that what is actually like highly, that what is actually really that what has been written, right? And it is just for the simple fact that, and I know what somebody gonna say. So you gonna believe what somebody else is gonna say? Well, the thing about that is this, right? You, most people, we can get on here. Uh-oh. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We got one. What's good?
What's happening?
Nothing. As you can, well, I'm gonna show you right now. My phone is right here, so I'm not on my phone. I'm actually like really on the laptop. So, uh, so hopefully, uh, no glitches will happen this time around. So, like I say, I already sent. Um, I sent the same. I sent the link to uh, Super Smooth. So hopefully she'll be on. Hopefully she'll be on momentarily.
Cool.
So but in either case, I titled this Freestyle Friday, right? And I to be perfectly honest, you two actually really caught me off guard because just like I say, I was out and about, right? And I come back. I mean, yeah, I carry my phone. I have my phone on me always, but I was just like I had it on silent or whatever, not really paying attention to what's going on. And so by the time I actually really got back to the house, I see that y'all two had been uh conversating. So I'm like, oh shit, okay, so they want to do a show today. So I'm like, okay, cool. So but then, like I say, I saw the stuff with well, I actually already saw the whole deal about the whole Amazon not taking down their documentary. And then I saw that one first. Matter of fact, I saw that late yesterday. And then the hell happened? Well, we lost contact. Hopefully that he can come back or whatever. So I think that was actually really on him. That was not on me, people. So what happened here? Hopefully he'll come back. So but in other case, people, um, with the whole damn, I don't know which one it is. But in other case, you know, I'm y'all gonna have to excuse me because because as a rule, this is something that I usually don't do. I mean, but considering that I'm not on my phone anymore, it actually really gives me like an opportunity to well, shit, to play around, see what else I actually really got going on. So, oh, there he is again. What happened
You
there?
got me?
Yeah, I got you.
I have no idea. Anyhow, the last thing I heard you talking about, like, yeah, I keep my phone on me and this and that. Sorry about that. Hopefully that's the last time that happens.
Yeah. So, but anyway, just like I say,
I think I connected my Bluetooth, my earphones,
uh,
and I have no
yeah,
idea. It just clicked me off audio.
yeah, that's usually how it goes. That's technology for you. But
I would say we're good to go now. Go ahead, dog.
yeah, but I was just saying that I saw that, I saw the piece about Alex Jones, right? I saw that earlier today on my news feed on Facebook, and then um, with the whole thing about Amazon not actually like really, they say that they're actually like really not going to actually really take that documentary down or whatever. So, and I'm just like, okay, well, because I just look at it like this, right? And I said this I actually really talked about this, uh, I don't know, about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, or whatever. And remember that video that you told me about? And it's funny that I cannot find that video because I had it, and now I cannot find that video nowhere, right? And because we had actually really talked about this once before. I forget what king that was that he actually really talked about the exact same thing that Kyrie Irving got in trouble for, right?
Yeah, I find it to be like incredibly odd. Here's the thing: I watched the full 3 hours between Kanye and
Okay.
Alex Jones. In fact, I was on the broadcast for about
Uh-huh.
7 minutes. I They had me call in and I talked a little bit. And what strikes me as odd is that in a culture that has propelled Black Lives Matter, that propels all these things and stereotypes of counterculture, all of a sudden these individuals are saying we should be more pro-Israel than pro-Black, and I find that to be very odd, especially if I was an African American. Individuals who were brought to this country, not all, but some. That's definitely
Yeah.
the narrative within this culture. Um, Forced to work, forced to be in a culture, thrive through a culture, and now they're being reprimanded by individuals who are a completely foreign government. I don't understand that, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Like, so they say, "Oh,
Yeah.
you're
I mean,
anti-Jew, you're anti," but this is odd. What's occurring? Okay, so you're anti-Semitic, you're anti-Jew. I didn't say that. I said I find it to be odd.
yeah. So
Isn't that odd?
yeah, it is, but the thing about it though, and it's just like what you said, some of us were already here, and then some of us actually really came over, right? So I try to study as much as possible about my family tree on both sides. And then, like I say, and I told you about this, because on my father's side of the family, my grandfather was Jamaican, and my grandmother was Puerto Rican, and that's on my father's side of the family. And then you got that on my mother's side. My grandmother was Cherokee Indian, right? And I'm actually really still trying to find that final piece of what my grandfather was. Now I don't
I can
know
guarantee it wasn't Israeli.
how.
I said I can guarantee you it probably wasn't Israeli.
Yeah, and so
No, but
and so
seriously, people like they're not. What does the state of Israel have to do with American foreign affairs? This is like saying Jordan or Iraq or Syria or Russia or Germany or France. What the fuck does that have to? I I don't like what they're doing. I'll be honest with you. And
yeah,
the same thing Alex Jones talked about, Louis Farrakhan talking about this. They're using this anti-Semitic thing. It's like, listen, uh, what the fuck are you talking about? Well,
uh-huh.
why are you siding with him? Well, he's an American. No, he's a black guy. Well, okay, African American, black. His lineage is from this country, and his citizenship is from this country, not a Zionist state in Israel. Oh, so you're against the Jews? Whoa, whoa, whoa! That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying these are guys that I grew up with, went to school with, played sports with, joined the military with, grew up with, are my fucking neighbors. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck what color, where they come from, or what the fuck happened. This is the. What are you talking about?
yeah. So, but you know
And
what
they're
though?
meant to, no, it's not appropriate. I'm telling you, it's not appropriate.
Yeah, I get you there, but
It's
you know,
not appropriate. They're telling them to heal.
yeah, but I think what is happening, right? And I hate to sound like old broke ass record here, but the thing about it though is this. They always say, "Hey, guess what? People are waking up now, right?" But you and I both know that unless you having a nightmare, right? You're not just gonna just automatically wake up, right? So I think what happens is that okay, you wake up, you're a little drowsy, and then God forbid, whatever the fuck that you did the night previous, right? That's that's uh that's actually really gonna dictate how fast you actually really can get up the actual next morning. So just like I said, I've been hearing this. Okay, when people starting to wake up, I've been hearing that for the past 10 years, right? So I think what's going on is that it's almost like okay, something is there, right? And then whether you want to actually really call it being an archaeologist or you just trying to figure out what type of drawers that woman over there got on up under that dress, right? Um, People are actually really they're actually really starting to dig and really they're actually really trying to they knowing now that it's a hell of a lot more to it than what's actually really being said. Now, depending on who you actually really talk to, right? I mean, because I talk to my brother, I talk to my brother-in-laws, all the time, and we have conversations like this. And so I think what's going on is that you have to actually really go back to biblical record to actually really to actually really understand to what's going on as far as like okay, well, who made up the original 12 tribes of Israel, right? And then did they stay in one place or did they disperse, throughout the world? And if they did, who are they and where are they at now? Right? Because take me. Okay, look, take us for an example. I mean, now, great the fact I'm back home in Little Rock, Arkansas, right? But when I was in the army, right, I was stationed at Fort. I was stationed at El Paso, Texas. I was across that water. I can't count how many times, right? Right, but it's by nature to leave your point of origin. You have to see what else is out there for you before you can actually really make a claim about anything or anybody to say, oh well, he is racist or she racist or they racist or whatever. And and it's just for the simple fact that those 21 years that I did, it really changed. It changed the outlook on how I saw people in general. Whether it was right here in this country, whether it was in Germany, Korea, Saudi Arabia, all the countries that I've actually really been throughout my career, right? It actually really gave me an insight, to actually really say, hey, you know what? These people here, they ain't half bad. And then I'm pretty sure that whatever country that I was in, they probably actually really said the same thing about me. Or people that actually really looked like me, they say, you know what? These people ain't half bad, regardless of what picture or pictures that may be painted back home in the United States of America. So, but it's just like what I'm saying, it's like, okay, people know now, and people are actually really going to start asking questions, serious questions, right? On one, who are they truly, right? And where's the doggone point of origin? So, um, but then again, just like I said, you get people that would try to reflect that, right? And I just think if a lot of people just hold steady or stand fast, and actually really continue to research, eventually they'll find out that somebody been lied to, right? A lot of motherfuckers got lied to, right? And like I say, I was into it with this guy yesterday, and it actually really carried on earlier today. And I had to put this motherfucker in his place. I mean, because the whole Jerry Jones thing, that the shit storm is getting worse and worse with that, because LeBron James, he gonna come out and say his little piece, and then I tend to look at LeBron James like, you know what, you like that little badass kid in a room full of grown people, and knowing damn well you don't need to be in the room when grown folks is talking. And then for him to actually really say, well, how come y'all didn't ask me about the Jared Jones situation? And then for him to say, you know what, don't even worry about it. And then I'll be like, well, what the fuck you asked me for? But then I look at it like this. I guess he forgot what the fuck he said not even 4 months ago. He called the people in the city of Boston racist. And
Yep.
then and then he turns around and now he's part owner of the Boston Red Sox. I'm like, okay, well, how the fuck that work? You just
One of
call
the
these people racist.
biggest, one of the biggest sports organizations on the planet, by the way.
Yeah, so but I'm saying, like, you go call these people racist,
On a high horse.
yeah, and then you gonna and then but you part owner of the Boston Red Sox. I'm like, okay, well, where they do that at? So I'm just like, so it's almost like people, they get in front of the camera because you are a a sports figure. You are an athlete, right? And so it's almost like, okay, well, when LeBron James talks, people listen. No, that, yeah, I mean, because put like this, just because you're an athlete, just because you're in the public eye, don't mean that you always know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh,
You know?
especially with
So,
him. In that case, when he
yeah,
was talking that bullshit about Taiwan and Hong Kong and China, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, team? And then somebody pulled him aside, like, hey, just ixnay on the China, hey, like you gotta chill.
yeah.
Like, what do you
So,
mean? It's like, no, 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 you have to shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. And
yeah,
it's odd. But the Kanye stuff, two interesting things happen. You got Kanye doing what he's doing, which I watched it. I was a part of the broadcast. Alex, his executive producer, Dario, had me call on, and I spent 7 minutes on there, communicated with him during the broadcast. He strikes me as somebody who's out of it, and I'm a Kanye fan, but it was very odd. It seemed like ill-informed, and there's a better way to do it, but I realize he's trolling now.
uh-huh,
But one of his biggest connects was Elon Musk, and Elon banned him this morning.
mm-hmm,
He suspended his Twitter this morning. So he was all palling around with Elon for the last, I don't know, 10
yeah.
years probably. And Elon suspended the account. Because I don't know if, did you see the interview? Did you see the things that he was saying?
No, I have to go. I have to go and
I think he has the right to say it, but the issue with what he's saying is he's trolling. You know what I'm saying? Like he's trolling.
yeah, uh-huh,
And he's being like he's being offensive for the sake of being offensive. And then
yeah,
this is one interaction that we had, which was interesting.
yeah,
Alex introduces me on the show. He had Laura Loomer on. He had Owen Schroyer on. Then I call in for like, I don't know, like a 7 minute segment. And I'm on there. And he's like, Zach from
hold on.
Florida, great guy. What?
Hey, I just pulled it up on YouTube right now. Is that
Uh,
Kanye in a mask?
he wore a mask the entire time.
Yeah, I'm looking at this right now.
He
I mean,
wore
I
a
haven't
mask.
played it. I haven't played it, but I'm looking at this.
Oh, no, you need to hear what he's saying. He's unhinged. I don't mean unhinged like, oh, he's wild. I mean, like, doesn't make a whole lot of sense what he's
Uh-huh.
saying, unfortunately. Like, he doesn't seem that bright.
Yeah. Okay. So,
And we got on there, and his whole thing is he's wearing that pantyhose the entire time, by the way.
uh-huh.
And Zach from Florida, blah, blah, blah. Army, he's a great source, da 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 da. Oh, from Florida. He said, oh, from Florida. What do you think about DeSantis? I said, oh, I think he'll be the next president of the United States. And then I went on for like, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds saying why and how. And then they have a stop break after I get off. And he asked for my information. He asked for everything. Oh, when we're down in Florida, we need to da 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 da. And then in the next, they do a stop break. They come back. And then they say, so what do you think about Ron DeSantis? And he gets defensive. And he's saying, I don't even know who that person is.
Mm.
I have no idea who that person is. He's dead. I don't know who that guy is. And it's like a bizarre. You see what I'm saying? Like it was like I was like, what? Like I was nice with him, and I probably got him in trouble because I told him I said, hey, Alex can't use Twitter. You still have your Twitter. Why don't you let Alex tweet from your Twitter? And he went on to let him do it,
Uh-huh.
and they did a bunch of crazy shit. And Elon suspended his Twitter this morning. And that's one of his guys, but he was getting too. It, he's wild, man.
Okay,
And
well,
like,
let me ask.
there's like, oh, well, hold on. There's
Okay.
crazy like a Fox, and there's like Malcolm X, Martin. Like, there's guys who get it. Farrakhan. Like, there's guys who get it, and then there's just fucking crazy motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And I, I'll be honest with you. I was like riding for a little while, but
Uh,
I don't get it because
well,
the trolling has got to a point. No, 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 no,
okay.
no. His wealth is diminished. He looks like a crazy person. He's wearing a mask over his face. He has Nick Fuentes with him. He's I don't get it.
Well, I got a question for you. Um, Cloning, right? Um, Me personally, I actually really think that.
Did Kiera get back to us? Is she gonna join?
Well, I mean, I guess she's on her way home right now. I don't know. So I
Okay.
just texted
Well,
her.
I could go for a while. I don't mind.
Yeah. So I honestly, because and I'm like you with Kanye, right? Because and just like I say, I really, to be perfectly honest with you, it it you know it really
Oh,
did
but hold on,
start.
hold on, hold on. This is important. I forgot this part.
Okay.
Simultaneously, the Tampa Police Department was serving a warrant on Antonio Brown's house in my backyard in
Yeah, I
Tampa.
saw that. I saw that.
And Antonio Brown is in charge of Donda Sports Agency, which is his Kanye West's sports agency, which all the
Really?
athletes left after this. You didn't know
Wow.
that?
I mean,
So
I
when
saw it.
Antonio Brown left the Bucks and did everything, he's supposedly like a sports agent, like a
Yeah.
representative for these guys. And then when Kanye started saying all this stuff and blah blah blah, everything associated with Donda Sports, he all these athletes had just left. And then simultaneously, as he's going nuclear, get canceled, Antonio Brown is getting a warrant served on his home. It just happens to be local news, but it's simul. I mean, there how you cannot connect the two is bizarre. I just thought I'd throw that out there because it
Yeah,
was
but you
what
know
the
what though?
fuck.
It's not. But you know what though? It's not the first time that rappers have been like called upon to be agents for certain athletes. I think Master P was the first one to do it with Ricky Williams, and then when Dez Bryant was playing, uh, he actually really signed on with Jay Z or Rockefeller, whatever the case may be, right? And so now Kanye is doing it. So I didn't know Kanye was actually really doing that, but I'm just like
No,
what I'm saying right
he's
now
not
is
doing it. He gave Antonio Brown the contract to do it.
oh,
And as Kanye is getting canceled, Antonio Brown's getting a warrant served on his home. The timing of that is problematic.
so you actually really think that he got that warrant because he's having business with Kanye, or is this something totally
No,
completely different?
no, he got the warrant because he's a fucking psychopath. He's out of his fucking mind, and he
Yeah.
assaulted his wife and 4 kids.
Oh
But the
yeah.
timing of it is fucking terrible.
Yeah. But
I mean,
going
like,
back,
it's interesting. It's like, really, this is
yeah,
happening at the same time.
yeah. But going back to Kanye, right? Uh, you can agree with me when I say Kanye hasn't been right since Hurricane Katrina.
He hasn't been right since he got in that car accident. He got his head smashed off the steering wheel. And
Well,
Antonio Brown hasn't been right since that hit where he got CTE. If I was his fucking lawyer, that's what I'd be saying.
yeah. But I'm just saying, like, when Hurricane Katrina happened,
Remember when he had his wire shut through the wire?
yeah, and then I think I think once he said that about President Bush, and then his mama died, then Kanye has been slowly but surely.
But are you aware of the car accident where he went through the windshield
I
and they had to
didn't.
wire his mouth shut? He had a traumatic brain injury.
I mean, now that I didn't know. I mean, now I know he.
That's a pretty big component in Antonio Brown the same way. He
Yeah,
took a huge hit in Pittsburgh. No issues from Antonio Brown. He was out in concussion protocol for like fucking 4 weeks or some bullshit. And
yeah.
they suspended the guy who had the hit across the middle. and then he comes out all these fucking problems. It's like,
Yeah, I remember that hit. I remember that hit that he took. That was a
what I'm trying
real.
to say is, if I was their lawyers, that's the fuck I'd be saying right now.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean,
Because
nine times out of ten they probably get off. But I just look at the simple fact that I don't know, man. I just I look at the simple fact that I'm the type of person, right? I do believe in celebrity cloning, where that these motherfuckers they get cloned, right?
fuck, you don't even need a clone for Alex Jones. The motherfucker was in a. Did you see what he was wearing the entire time?
Who Alex Jones? Yeah, I mean,
No, Kanye. He was
yeah,
wearing
I saw he.
a toe. A toe. I mean, the entire body's covered. It could be anybody.
Yeah, but the thing with Kanye, now that you actually really, I mean, now that you actually really stop and think about it for a minute, right?
For 3 fucking hours, he's in this pantyhose.
Yeah, and to be perfectly honest, I don't see how he did it, right? But let's actually really look at this for a minute, right? So he says this about George Bush with the whole Hurricane Katrina thing. Then he marries Kim Kardashian, but then I'm just looking at Kim, right? And she done been through like every football player possible because she was with
Ugh.
Reggie Bush. She was with Reggie Bush, Miles Austin, just to name a few, right? And then, and it's been a while back though, but I'll just a lot of motherfuckers were saying like, okay, how you go from football players to a rapper, but hey, it is what it is. But I just look at the simple fact that I tend to put Kanye in the same category as Mike Tyson because once Custom Model was still living, Mike was good, but once Cuss died, that's when all hell
Started
broke loose.
acting crazy, and
That's
it
when
still
all hell
is, and
broke
it
loose.
still is going crazy.
Yeah. So I tend to put
It's a
Kanye.
great point. It's a great fucking point what you just
Yeah.
said.
And so I tend to put Kanye in that same category.
Hmm.
Kanye was good up until his mother died. Then that's when all hell broke
Yeah,
loose.
yeah, you're actually right.
You know,
It's a great
and then
angle. It's a good angle.
and then it's just for the simple fact whether or not what he said about George Bush got his mama killed. Again, depending on who you talk to, some people may say yeah, some people may say no. But in either case, his mom is gone. And then, but then again,
They talked about that on Alex Jones yesterday.
yeah, and then, but
Alex said they talked about this exactly, and they said it's like a human sacrifice. And they went into, I forgot. Fuck, I wish I could know the other person. He says Prince. They did something to Prince's parents. They did something to Michael's parents. No, they said they did something to Prince's parents. They did something to Michael Jordan's parents, and they killed my mom.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
he was like,
yeah.
"No,
I remember
seriously,
because he was saying
you need to watch that interview."
no. I saw the interview because the thing about it, well, I didn't see the Alex Jones interview, but I know what you're
That's what
talking
I'm
about.
talking about. You need to see that one.
Yeah, because he was talking about like my mama got sacrificed, and then he said, "Well, what about Michael Jordan? His dad got sacrificed."
And it's something about Prince's parents.
Well, I know that. Now I think maybe. See, here's the deal with Prince and Michael Jackson, right? I forget. Put like this. I don't know. You know what? Let me Google this shit right fast because I really don't know who Prince was under. Is
That's what he said. He said something on Alex Jones. He said something about Prince for sure. Michael Jordan's dad. That's what he said. Michael Jordan's dad, my mom. But he said something about Prince too. I don't know if he said something about his brother or his mom or I don't know what the family member was though. Because I was
Oh,
just like
okay.
waiting.
Here it is. Here it is. Now, both according to the media, The media will have you believe that both Michael Jackson and Prince are dead. Prince was under Sony Records, right? When Michael Jackson left the game, Michael Jackson ended up owning half of Sony Records. Now, here's the deal. Now, there's a well-established feud between Michael Jackson and Prince, as far as like, well, who did, as far as like, who had the better music? And there's a video out there right now when James Brown was living, and then it just so happened that both Prince and Michael Jackson was at this James Brown concert, and he asked both of them to come on stage, right? And they did the little deal, and Prince did something, and Prince ended up falling. It was something that weird happened, and then let them tell it that Prince thought that Michael had something to do with it and all that kind of stuff, and then it was stuff that Michael wanted to actually really wanted to work with Prince at one time, and Prince turned him down. I really don't know the whole deal, but the thing about it though is this: these two were under Sony Records, and then Michael ended up owning half of Sony Records, and then on top of that, he bought the Beatles catalog. See, a lot of people don't know that. So again, a lot of this stuff with the music industry, and these motherfuckers, they'll come out, they're quick to say it. Hey, guess what? This is a cutthroat business, right? If you don't understand the wording of those contracts, these motherfuckers will indeed fuck you over. And so when I look at people like Ray Charles, right? Because Ray Charles, as far as I know, he was the first one to actually really be like, you know what? I'm going to side with you, but just know, once I leave your record label, I'm taking my masters with me. Right? He was the first to do that. And then if you actually really pay attention, right? Nobody sampled Ray Charles's, well, put like this, while Ray Charles was living, nobody sampled his shit. But as soon as once word got out that he died, who was the first one to sample his shit? Kanye West. Right? So again, you really gotta pay attention on how these people do things. It's almost like, okay, well, what was said, what was done, right? To get certain people out of the way in order for you to be a doggone success. And then for Kanye to actually come out and say, well, hey, you know what? My mama was sacrificed. Okay, well, we already have a pretty good idea on why your mama was sacrificed. Then he brought up Michael Jordan. And then again, we have a pretty good idea on why his daddy was sacrificed, because there was a lot of because rumor had it that Michael Jordan had a real serious gambling problem.
Gambling and the mob in Chicago.
Yeah, and so it was a lot of shit that he couldn't pay off. And so a lot of people say he hung his dad.
He bet on everything.
Yeah, but see, that's another thing. I kind of find that hard to believe, considering how popular Michael Jordan was. Because he might not have been getting real serious NBA money, but he had the endorsement deal with Nike, Gatorade, all that kind of shit. So Michael was getting money everywhere, or at least this is what the fuck we thought. And a lot of people saying that 18 months when he retired the first time and he went to go play baseball. A lot of people said that David Stern, the commissioner of the NBA at the time, told him, "Hey, look, we gonna suspend you, you know." But then David Stern, he actually really came back and he shot that down. But I mean, but at this point of the juncture, who's to say what really went down in the head offices of the National Basketball Association, right? David Stern is dead, so we can't really get his side of the story. And we already know Michael ain't finna say shit, So so it's it's one of those things that okay, well, this is what we think might have happened, right? And then, hey, it is what it is. And then for Kanye to actually really bring up those individuals, right?
And where is Kanye from?
He's from Chicago,
Hmm.
you know. So it's again, it's enough to raise your eyebrow, right? It's enough to make you go like this, right? You know, and then again, I mean, then who's to say, because with all of this stuff that happens with celebrities, regardless of division, right? They already know that here come the so-called conspiracy theorists, right? And so they figure like, okay, well, if we can keep the conspiracy theorists busy long enough, then they gonna draw in everybody else. And then while everybody is actually really drawn in, then here they go right now, new laws, new legislations, and then by the time everybody figure out what the fuck is going on, hey, guess what? It's too late, right? You done got fucked again with no Vaseline, and the motherfuckers didn't even take you to McDonald's. So so again, so,
That one caught me off guard.
you know, but
Holy
but no, but I mean, but think about it though for a minute.
shit. They didn't even take you to McDonald's. Holy
But the
shit.
thing about it though, I actually really got
Oh lordy.
hello, that last part I actually really got from a Richard Pryor album. And the matter of fact,
That caught me off guard. I'll be honest with you.
like
It's
this. But
tremendous.
that last part I got from a Richard Pryor album. It's called Richard Pryor meets Richard and Willie in the SLA, and then Richard Pryor, which a lot of people will consider the greatest of all time as far as like comedian goes. Guess where he's from? He's from Peoria, Illinois. So again, so basically the thing was this. There was this like he went up to someone and he said, "Hey, mama, how you doing?" Like, "I'm doing fine. How the fuck you think I'm doing?" So she was like, "Well, give me some." She said, "Give me some of my ass. Take me out to dinner first. Take me to McDonald's. Give me a Big Mac with
That's
cheese."
funny.
so, so,
The,
all right,
the
uh,
specificity with cheese.
yeah. So, Super Smoke, she just hit me up, and she's at the house, and I'm telling her now, yes, we are still on. But yeah, man, I just look at it like,
With cheese. It's such a
yeah,
distinction. With
yeah, give me
cheese.
a Big Mac with cheese. So yeah, so
Funny because the Big Mac comes with cheese, the Whopper doesn't. And but just to say, give me a Big Mac with cheese. You
so
need the
yeah,
35-cent upgrade.
yeah. So, but I'm just looking at the simple fact, man, that
Richard Pryor, what the hell happened to him? I heard he was a homosexual and also he set himself on fire.
oh yeah, so
And no, for real, I heard he.
yeah, yeah,
Listen, I
and
know he's one of the greatest
no,
comics of all
but see,
time.
but here's the deal.
I,
Richard,
I heard Paul Mooney talking about this.
yeah, and Richard Pryor said it himself a lot of times. Uh, there's a comedy roast that you can find that you go on YouTube. This type of Richard Pryor comedy roast, and there's a part on there where Richard himself, after all of the comedians that roasted Richard, right? So Richard, he going through and he getting everybody else, right? And it's a part on there where Richard said, "Well, Paul was with me when I first." He said, "Paul was with me when I fucked my first faggot." Right?
He said it just like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He said it.
yeah. I saw
And
that
the
clip.
thing
I
about
saw
it,
that clip.
yeah, and the thing about it though,
I'm not judging him for it. I'm just saying. I was like, wow.
yeah, and then, like I said, that's not the first time
It's
that
the
Richard
guy from The Godfather he was with. The guy,
yeah,
the
Marlon
somebody
Brando,
from The
yeah,
Godfather.
yeah, Marlon
Yeah,
Brando, right? Richard's wife is on record saying that yeah, they actually really did that. He said, yeah, both
not
of them,
really a homosexual, more like bisexual because he would have women too.
yeah. And so there was like Richard's wife, right, or one of them, is on record saying that yeah, him and Marlon Brando did actually do that. They both was high as
Wow.
fuck, right? So hey, it is
Probably
what it is.
psychosis.
Yeah. So and then there's that where that and
How
then
did he
there's
set himself on fire? What happened with that?
oh again because he was high as fuck. Matter
And
of
you just
fact,
said him like it was an accident, probably.
no, but basically his bodyguard again. It's a documentary out there right now. You can catch it on YouTube. It's called Richard Pryor Omit the Logic, and
Oh,
you can either catch it on YouTube or you can catch it on Showtime. But uh, his bodyguard, they was watching TV one night, and remember that protest that was in China, I think it was, where the guy actually really set himself on fire in front of that tank.
oh yeah, yeah. Tiananmen Square.
Yeah, and so the bodyguard he saw it and he called Richard and he said hell he said look at this Richard, check out this guy's commitment.
Oh no.
And then so Richard said commitment, hell he didn't even flinch, right? And then they both
Oh
laughed it
no.
off. And then no, he said Richard went into the other room. And then before he knew it, he went to the kitchen and all what the fuck he saw was a blaze of fire running past it.
Oh no.
So
High
yeah,
as fuck too. You set
yeah,
himself on
yeah,
fire.
he was high as fuck, right?
Cocaine
And
psychosis. It's a real thing. No, really,
yeah,
it's like a real thing.
and so basically, and then it's another Comedy Central did a deal on that, and George Lopez, and so they interviewed George Lopez, right? And so they said George Lopez he followed the route that Richard went when he was on fire, and
Oh.
George Lopez himself said, "I got to tell you, in a car it's far, right?"
Oh.
So it's different about that motherfucker. He ran that long on fire, and then by the time he actually got to the hospital, right, his wife showed up.
You think he was just on? You think he was just on cocaine or like acid or something?
No, he was. They were saying Richard was on a lot of shit, and then
Yeah,
once
he
you
probably
go,
was on acid or mushroom, something
and
like that
then
too.
there was like on that documentary, right? His wife got to the hospital, and so the doctors they didn't know what the fuck to do, and so his wife Jennifer Lee, right? He said, "Stop! If you give him morphine, you gonna cause him to overdose." That's just how high Richard was,
Damn.
right? And then again, Richard is on record saying that he snorted so much cocaine that the dealers wouldn't even sell him none no more.
Jeez.
So I mean, and he did it. I mean, he was truthful about it, but he passed it off as a joke, right?
But it was like an admission. Like he was like letting
Yeah,
everyone know.
but the thing about it though is this: the coke dealers, they wouldn't even sell him none, because
Shit.
he was just like, "Hey, I need a kilo." Now, what drug dealer that's gonna have a kilo like right off?
Uh,
So
Nobody you want to talk to. I can tell you that.
and then also in that documentary, right? He
Let's shift gears before Smoot gets here too. What about Rick James and Bruce Lee?
Oh, which one you want to talk about first?
Well, did you ever see that movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? With it has like Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio,
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
show
yeah,
like Bruce
yeah,
Lee, like
yeah,
supposedly how it's supposed to go.
yeah,
Apparently, there was foul play with both of them.
yeah. Now the thing with Bruce, the thing what happened with Bruce is that Bruce Lee pushed himself to the limit. Like
And
here's
at the time, people don't understand Asian Americans, they were sort of run over.
yeah,
Like they were like not. I don't know how to say. Like in today's America, they're revered as like pillars of the community, normal, blah blah blah. But back then,
uh huh,
even into the '90s, like people just made fun of Asian people.
yeah. But the
It's
thing
not
about
right. I'm just saying what was going. I saw it with my own eyes.
yeah, and the thing with Bruce Lee was here's a guy that was 135 pounds, and this motherfucker had what probably zero body fat. This motherfucker was nothing but straight muscle, right? And so basically what happened, so he worked like it was nobody's business. And so basically what happened, according to his wife, right? He had a headache and he took aspirin or a painkiller that he was allergic to. And it caused him to go into a coma and he died. I want to say that they call it like cerebral edema, where his brain swelled, right?
Yeah,
And
edema. They poisoned that guy.
yeah,
Somebody put something in there.
yeah, because
People
and
have done
then
that before in Tylenol bottles.
yeah, and then and all of the folklore about that you're not supposed to teach Westerners our craft and self-defense, and Bruce Lee, he went against that, and so a lot of the elders or whatever, they got pissed off behind that, and hey, the rest is history, but here's a guy, right, that he died roughly 2 weeks before his masterpiece Enter the Dragon hit the movie theaters,
Wow.
right? And then I've heard Joe Rogan talk about Bruce Lee as him being like one of the predecessors of MMA. I mean,
Oh
go back
yeah.
to it. Just like I say,
They talk them up big time.
yeah. So actually, really just go back and look at some of the stuff that Bruce Lee did, and Bruce Lee, you know, Bruce Lee, he was one of them. And again, I tend to put him and Richard Pryor in the same basket as far as like what Richard did for comedy, right? Is the same thing that Bruce Lee did for martial arts,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I can see
So
that actually.
so when you look at it from that aspect,
What about
right?
Jimi Hendrix though? What he did for
Yeah,
music?
Jimi Hendrix, he's another one,
Wow,
right?
wow, wow, wow,
Yeah,
wow, wow. It just changed everything.
yeah, but
And all these
but you,
guys just show up dead,
yeah,
young. I don't understand.
you know, so for people that can come in and like actually like really change the
I
game,
say, Eloise,
you know,
the people have never heard this shit.
yeah, to actually like really change the game the way that they did it and how they did it is is motherfucking remarkable, you know. I
It is.
mean,
Same
I
thing with Malcolm X,
yeah, I
dead,
mean,
of course, dead. Same thing with JFK, dead.
yeah,
I mean, just like,
I mean
I
those, you
mean,
know, those people that you can look at and be like, damn. And then and then for the most part you can understand like, well, Bruce Lee died early, Jimi Hendrix died early, Malcolm X, JFK,
Bob Marley.
yeah, they act like really,
People don't think about Bob Marley either. They make him like a gimmick or something.
yeah,
No, he was like a huge peace guy, and the music he's promoting was very quite intelligent, quite frankly. And it was the sound
yeah,
nobody heard. And he happened to be a mixed individual, half white, half black from Jamaica. And like, if you look at marijuana today, it's not demonized the way it used to be. And quite frankly, they killed him too. Everyone
yeah,
knows fucking that shit too. I mean, they killed his ass.
yeah.
He, don't worry,
Cause don't
be
nobody,
happy. They're like, fuck that shit. We got Vietnam, motherfucker.
yeah, cause don't nobody, I don't give a fuck. You don't die because your big toe was infected. I'm so fucking sorry to tell
No.
you. But they saying that that's how he died.
Yeah.
That
Right.
he would and
Until you know how racist Jamaica was and how colonized it was until the 70s.
yeah. So it's just for the simple fact that you know people used to ask me a lot of times, right? Because everybody would ask me, like, well, who are the if you could pick five people that you could talk to, living or dead, who would you want to talk to and why? And then I would always say Richard Pryor, Bruce Lee, Bob Marley, Malcolm X, Jimi Hendrix. Damn, I forget who else. And Dr. King. I really would like to just I could be like, okay, if I could like actually really just sit down and converse with those people, whether it was one on one or whether it was all together, right? Just
I'll put Kennedy in there too.
yeah,
Kennedy, I'll be like, what the hell was really going on before they blew your brains out in Dallas?
yeah. So I mean, because
Because he had the Cuban Missile Crisis, space program, Vietnam, everything right there. And they
yeah,
killed that the way they killed that dude. It was like, what the fuck? And also, I'd say, how good was Marilyn Monroe? Just be honest with me. How good
yeah.
was it?
So again,
I'm like, John, be honest with me. How good was it?
yeah, and it probably and it would I would have asked him that same exact question. You know, um, it's
John, please, enough about the goddamn moon landing. Let's talk about. I mean, was she a freak or not?
well, I mean
Was she
because
sort of like uptight? Was she uptight? She knew she had it going on. She's dealing with the mob. Or, I mean, was she getting down there and was she really, John, please, excuse me, Mr. President, please. This is classified off the record.
yeah, you probably
Was she
have
a
to
freak?
go.
Was she a freak? Yes or no?
You probably have to go to the Library of Congress and find that one book that they always talk about, and He probably put all that in that one book that they talk about or whatever. And but yeah, man, it would be, it would be an interesting conversation.
They
Uh,
killed her too.
yeah, exactly.
They
It's
literally killed her too.
yeah, yeah. I mean, because when I think the only, and I think the only reason why they knocked her off because they actually really thought that she might go back and tell it. You know, she might would. I mean, cause think about it for a minute. Hey, guess what? I fucked the president, right?
And the mob. And the
You know,
mob.
yeah. But then
So
again, look at it like this. 29 years later, right? President Bill Clinton, aka Slick Willie, he becomes president, right?
out of Mena, Arkansas.
Yeah, and then and guess who he fucked? Monica Lewinsky.
Mhm.
So now, wouldn't it be funny that Monica Lewinsky and Marilyn Monroe are somewhat related? I'm just saying.
It's like a stereotype. It's an
You
archetype.
know, I mean, I mean, come on now. Let's think about it for a minute.
And Kim Kardashian is the second cousin.
Yeah, I mean, because, and then, speaking of the Kardashians, right? Had it not been for OJ, we wouldn't know who the Kardashians was, right?
Small
Let's, and you know what? It really wouldn't surprise me none if all of the Kardashians, right, are actually like really OJ's kids. It really wouldn't. Just like I say, I don't put nothing past no motherfucker. I really don't. I really don't. Because think about it. Kim all her life done fuck, except for that one guy, right? She did, like I said, she was with Kanye, she was with Reggie Bush, she was with Miles, all the motherfucking football players. And then her sisters are the same goddamn way. One of them, Lamar Odom, right? You just don't go to black folks like that unless something that was put in you at birth causes you to go that direction. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm just like, hey, it is what it is. So I'm just like, and with the thing about it is this, and Kim herself knows, right? All of them know it. Them motherfuckers, they should be giving OJ a check every goddamn month. Because like I said, well, I see her, but hold on, let me see if I can bring her home. Oh, there she is. Super Smooth.
What's
good?
up? What's going on?
Yeah, hey, guess
What's
what?
happening?
Here's my phone right here, so I ain't on no damn phone this time around.
Yeah, don't do that no more. Don't do that no more.
So yeah, man, we just been here. We've been talking about
A little bit of everything.
We've been talking about Kanye. We've been talking about Richard Pryor. We've been talking about everything and everybody possible. So
what I missed? Fill me in. Let me chime in. Let me jump in.
Well, basically, the whole deal with shit. We were talking about Kanye.
Go ahead, Smoot. Give us a download on Kanye.
And the interview that he did with Alex Jones.
Oh Lord.
He was in
Well,
a mask.
well, let me
I was in that interview. I was on that call for 7 minutes.
but let me be specific. When it comes to Kanye West, you see, the thing is that and we when we all started talking about going on doing things in this environment, you remember how we used to say, you don't go left, you don't go right, you stay right here in the middle.
Yeah.
And when you in the middle, people think you crazy. People think you stupid. People think that, oh, something wrong with you. You know, you must be you must be smoking this stuff, you know, or it must be good. But at the same time, you know, why is it that there's only you only can pick two sides, either you're black or you're white, but you got about 50 different insurance companies, you got about 50 different mortgage companies, you can get 31 flavors at Baskin Robbins, you can even die 1,000 ways.
Yeah.
But why is it that when it comes to our government and thinking on our own, oh, you either with us or you against us? So when you have people that think for themselves, you might not agree with it. Like I might not agree with you. I might not agree with you. But that still doesn't give me the right to say that, to try to defame you. You know, let the man speak. You might like where he going with it. You know, because a couple of what was it 2 months ago, he kept saying he wanted out of the contract.
Yeah.
And what he did. If you know that you are worth something, and whoever that you're involved with is not treating you of your worth, what you gonna do? You gonna leave, right?
Yeah.
If Chick-fil-A ain't got the fries you want, you gonna go to Whataburger.
Yeah.
If Whataburger ain't got what you want, you gonna go to McDonald's. So why we can't do that in real life?
You know what's odd too? Hold on. You know what's odd? You know what's odd though? Here's the big deal. And like I said yesterday, the big interview that he got canceled for on Twitter for. Because of that, he was acting crazy.
With Twitter?
With Alex. No, Elon. Yeah, they suspended him off Twitter this morning because of the interview.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, now that you said that, isn't that the same thing they did to him on TMZ some years ago?
What I'm saying is this: he knows what he's doing, but the ironic part to me is this, and this is how I started it. Okay, here's the thing: it's going to get me in trouble. I really don't give a fuck. Here's the thing: I don't give a fuck. I was on the broadcast yesterday with Kanye and Alex Jones for 7 minutes. Oh, I'm not blowing smoke up my own ass. I'm just literally, I was on the broadcast. I'm a contributor to InfoWars, and that's what happens. But here's the thing. And this is how I started this broadcast. And I'm going to say it. And now people need to buckle the fuck up, but I'm prepared to say it. This is the United States of America. He is an African American. The lineage of these individuals who came to this country, either voluntary or involuntary, finds them in a state that they're in America. They are Americans. This idea that you are propelling or defending or promoting a foreign state, which is the state of Israel. I don't care if it was the state of Israel, the state of China, the state of Saudi Arabia, the state of Germany. Who gives a fuck? Excess state, which is not America, is bizarre. And the idea that you're leveraging these individuals over your own community is inappropriate. And this idea that you need to bite back, that you need to fulfill their expectations of a foreign government, because the Israeli people, make no mistake, are Israeli people, meaning from the state of Israel, not from the United States of America. Oh, you're an anti-Semite. No, I'm not. I don't give a fuck where you come from. I don't care if you're Jewish. I do know one thing. I took an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States of America, and Kanye West happens to be an American citizen. So, with that being said, it is his First Amendment right to say what the fuck he said. And this idea that a German company, quite frankly, Adidas, that was started during the Nazi Revolution, is somehow causing controversy with this individual who happens to be a black man, an African American, keyword, American. I don't get down with that shit. Oh, it's easy for you to say you're Muslim, you hate Jews. Shut the fuck up. I don't hate no. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I do know one thing. I promote my countryman, and my countryman happens to be named Kanye West or Ye. Oh, so you hate Jews? No. Again, America, not Israel. America, not Morocco. America, not Egypt. America, not China. America, not India. America, not Russia. America, not Australia. America, not America, motherfucker. How about that one? He's a black American. Now who's wrong? Who the fuck do you think you are? Running banks, running industries, running media, tell an individual who's got to a precipice, to a point, 2 billions, who actually is doing something, you are wrong. Actually, sit, boy. Heal. Not for me. That's my take.
Oh yeah, Super Smooth. Another thing that we was actually
It's fucked up. I don't give a fuck about it. Fuck him.
Yeah.
And you don't really get into like what the Arabs really think about him. That's a whole nother. That's the second fold. But before the Arab fold is the American fold. So they can go fuck off. How about that?
Yeah, but another thing.
What loyalty do you have? Excuse me, sir. What loyalty do you have to the state of Israel? Can I ask you that?
Who?
You?
Me?
Yes, sir.
Well, look, I told you.
No. Simple question. What loyalty or obligation do you have to the state of Israel?
What loyalty or obligation? I don't have no obligation.
Okay, great. Smooth. What loyalty or obligation do you have to these people?
When you say people, who?
The state of Israel, the country of Israel.
I mean, I don't have no loyalty to no country.
Okay, that's the end of my statement then.
Okay, so but before all of that, we was actually really talking about we was talking about the music industry, which
Talking about these motherfuckers like they're protected or something. Like I don't understand what the fuck these people are talking about.
I mean, but that's the thing. Remember how we used to talk about false flags?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It was a lot of that going on, and being that we are all politically inclined, and we know what a false flag looks like.
Yeah.
At the same time, a false flag, the way people see it, that don't know what we're meaning to, we know it started years ago.
Yeah.
This started years ago. Think about one of the main reasons why I'm not gonna cancel Kanye West is because when everybody started to separate themselves from this man years ago, after his mother died,
yeah,
to me
that was another thing that we was talking about.
That to me that kind of put me on pause. If you know that's your mother, and from what I understand, I'm not a man, but if it's the same way of how I feel about my dad, I mean I know that man was hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a different type of bond, mother and son, just like daughter and father. That's a strong bond right there. You know what I'm saying? So
he brought it up on the interview about his dad, which he never talked about, saying his dad was separated. Well, you should hear the interview yesterday. A college educator who was a Black Panther.
Yeah, I remember that.
During that movement.
But I'm gonna tell you.
This is fucking. Go ahead, Smoke. No, continue about the bond.
To me, it feels like it's deeper than what. Like, see, the thing is that, like, I tell people, like, I don't even. I'm gonna just slide her into this because nobody really talks about her. What is her name? Candace Owens.
Yep. Candace Owens. Okay.
I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna say this. I see. We as Black people, we see the white version of her. I don't want to make this a race thing, but we have seen the white version of Candace Owens. Okay. We have never seen Candace Owens as her. As what she is. I like the chick, but nobody else sees what she's doing. They just hate. It's just straight hate. It's just straight pure hate. And I'm like, do y'all really listen to what she's saying? Do y'all really understand? Granted, her history.
It's so condescending on Congress. when they tell her this is hate speech. They have a white individual who happens to be on the left telling a woman of color, you don't understand.
It's
You
fucking,
don't
it's
have
blasphemy.
it's
It's
ridiculous.
controversy. It's everything. And I'm sitting here like, y'all are not ready. Just like I said, they're not ready for a millennial president or a millennial to take position of power. Y'all meaning people Curtis age and up. And then also you're not ready for a real black representing black people that's a Republican. Nobody has ever seen that. And I'm sorry, Ben Carson, he just wasn't gonna cut it. Condoleezza was close, but the thing, see, Condoleezza, she was put your head down, I'm gonna stay in the background. She, not to discredit her, but she was a lot of people don't like to be in the limelight. And maybe that's the problem, because a lot of times the people that me and you might choose to lead us as people of color might be different than what the media might have chose, what the kings makers might have chose.
Yeah, and they're telling her you can't be proud to be an American and happen to be black. And it's like, well, newsflash, that's happening in the next 20 to 30 years. It's happening.
Okay, hold on. Two things.
You can't think for yourself, Candace. No. Yeah. Candace, you must be confused. You've been sabotaged by these. No, she's a free thinker. She knows exactly what the fuck she's talking about.
Yeah.
She will talk circles around you. That's what. Does everything she says right? Who is? But she has the right to fucking say it. Don't fucking beat her up for saying it. What are you talking about?
But that's exactly what they want to do. They want to see. So here it is. You have somebody like Candace. Take Candace and take Martin Luther King. Everybody loved Martin Luther King. Okay? But you still, a lot of people love Candace, but at the same time, what do they have in common? They killed Martin Luther King. What the hell you think they're going to do to Candace Owens? They're going to hate her. Yeah. Like you said, they hate her. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whose side they on. It's just the fact that they want you to hate. They want you to hate somebody of color, no matter what side of the field they on.
Okay. All right. Two things here. I got a statement that I got to say, going back to what you said about your dad. Dad's super smooth. As far as like the bond between mother and son. In 2010, November 4th, at 7:47 a.m., which is a day that is burned in my head, I really watched my mother take her last breath. And, people always say, hey, you know what? I want my family around when I die. No, I will be the first one to tell you it's not what you want, because you look at that individual as somebody that, for one, raised you from a baby up until you're a grown man, or, at least in my case, my mama raised me, right? And then I didn't actually really meet my dad until 19 years later, my actual dad until 19 years later. And then come to find out, he a dog, he served the army, he did 20 years just like I did, right? But the thing about with my mom, right, she kept that from my dad, right, for whatever reason. And I say that in my book, but the thing about the bond that a daughter might have with her dad is the exact same thing that a son has with his mother, at least with me. I love my mother to death, and I hate for the simple fact that she ain't here with me. I hate for the simple fact that she didn't see me get married to my childhood sweetheart that's in the next room in there. I hate that, and I cried. I cried at my wedding for two reasons. One, that's my childhood sweetheart. Two, that my mama wasn't there. It will always hurt. As far as Candace Owens is concerned, I like Candace Owens. A lot of people try to take her down. It's a documentary that she got out right now that was attacking the whole Black Lives Matter deal. I have yet to see it.
I want to watch it because I don't know. I don't want to talk about. I don't want to make judgment or pass or seem like I'm passing judgment. But
Yeah.
I mean, my thing is Black Lives Matter ain't no different than any of these
But see,
other
but
damn
his
organizations.
deal, but his deal down there, Super Smoke, right? And I said that in a video, right? It's almost like, okay, well, I tend to look at the whole Black Lives Matter deal the same way that, like, whether it's the local police, state police, or the FBI, when they do a drug bust, right?
Kanye West on
And
Kanye
then
West on All of the Lights. He has a lyric. It says like this.
and
Da, da,
then
da, 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 da. All of
and
the
then
lights, all of the lights. Went
and
through deep
then what
depression
happens
when
is
my
this.
mama died. No,
And
for
then
real.
what happens is this. You seize the boat or you seize the drug dealer, right? Okay, you got the drug dealer, but he's getting it from somebody,
It's a
right?
cycle. That's a cycle.
Yeah.
I mean, free the documentary on Freeway Ricky Ross proved that.
Yeah. So I just look at it like this. And my uncle told me this long time ago. He said it's two motherfuckers that you actually really got to worry about. You got to worry about the man, THE, and the man, DA. The man tells the man what the fuck to do, right? And when the shit gets hot and heavy, it's always the man, DA, that gets caught while the man, THE, gets away. Once he gets away or they get away, he has enough time to come up with another goddamn plan. We need to stop worrying about the man and get the man.
But we don't
Once
have
we get- once
the
we get-
problem.
Hold on. What Candace Owen represents is the inability of what individuals went through during, I would say, the 70s to the 2000s. Because when you had individuals like Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, the Nation of Islam, Million Man March, the actual civil rights movement, in suits, Black Wall Street, all of this stuff, these were people of reputable standing.
Yeah, they
And
were
they were
pro-black.
sabotaged. Yeah, exactly. They were
It was
sabotaged.
a
They were
pro-black
taken down.
era. It wasn't a place you couldn't go where black folks didn't have it all.
But what I'm saying is, like, it turned into something like, give me this, give me that. We can't do nothing for ourselves. And it became, during the prison industrial complex, taking the males out of the home, single mothers having to raise this shit. And I'm telling you,
It's
there was
not even
something there.
it.
And when I see Candace Owens on Congress in her pantsuit talking, and individuals attempting to strike her down, but she has so much intellectual aptitude that they do not have the capability of doing it. I look at her and I say, yeah, and I just see. I'm telling you, I see those people from the 60s just roaring up from their graves, and it fucking bothers me. Not everything she says is gospel, but I'm telling you, a lot of it is whether she's right, wrong, or what the fuck ever. The
It's
idea
appropriate.
Exactly. It's highly
It's appropriate.
Can I ask both of y'all a question? I need to ask both of y'all a question. The women's liberation, who started it and why?
It depends on what color the woman is.
No.
Because you got to understand.
No idea.
Hold on. The Rockefellers, they started that organization.
Yeah, but
Aaron Russo, who is now dead, right? Because he was one of those few that once he spoke, he was marked for death, right? So the thing about it was this: before women's liberation, think about it for a minute. And who was that? Bernie Sanders. He said, right? In the 50s and 60s, the man can go out and work, do his 40 week. He had enough money to pay for rent, utilities, condo, groceries, clothes, and still had enough money to go on a 2-week vacation with his family. And so at Bernie Sanders, he was like, okay, what happened to that?
We didn't change that. We didn't change that. Here it is. This is my theory on this.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. You have to break that into, because as a black woman, you know, and not to make things all, you know, sexually and all that. The thing is that when you have, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna just say that because I watched my grandmother do those same old-fashioned things. My grandmother instilled a lot of things in me that stay with me, that I can be raised in any era, any generation, and I can use what my grandmother taught me to go along about life. My grandmother is the reason why I'm into politics. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It used to be I was asking her, now she asking me. Because I do things of this, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, here's what you have. When the woman, you know, yeah, it's cool, you know, if the head of your household has that, that's fine and dandy. Yeah. But here you have this thing that we call inflation in Uncle Sam. Yeah. Okay. So you have one entity over here saying, ooh, if we can get the woman of the house to work, then we can get more money out of these motherfuckers. Yeah. We can make 2 people go to work. We can have, as a business owner, I can write off taxes for more people. I can have more people at work, more people in traffic, kids at home by themselves. That means if I am the one at the top thinking of the ways to get money out of the masses, yes, I'm going to create women's liberation. Just like how I use, this is my same theory on how I tell people. They ask me, why is there insurance? Because I used to be an insurance agent. I said, you got to think about it. If you hit me and I hit you and we don't see nothing wrong, we cool, we fine, we dandy. But as an insurance company, if I'm thinking of ways to make money and I'm the little man and I'm talking to the big man, the big insurance company over here, and I'm trying to say, hey, let's make a law to require everybody to have insurance and we will get paid forever. That's what they did with the 2 working households. Now see that with 2 adults working in the same household.
Now see that Super Smoke? God damn it! See now I'm finna take it. I'm either finna take it far east or far west. You holler insurance. So I'm gonna put like this. I'm gonna take you back and then I'm gonna bring you up. April 12th. It's either April 10th or April 12th of 1912, right? The Titanic went down. Right now, I don't know if you know anything about this, right? But a lot of people said that they sunk that ship for insurance money. And then if you actually really go back and look who was on the manifest, who was supposed to be on that boat, and them motherfuckers got off. They didn't get on that boat ride. J.P. Morgan, or as in J.P. Morgan Chase, me and you, we talked about this.
Was it his daddy? Wasn't his? It was his father.
Yeah.
Because the J.P. Morgan,
one of the 2, right? And then so again, let's fast forward it. Damn near 100 years later, or 100 plus years later, 2001. Zach, when the Twin Towers fell down, who had the insurance policy on those 2 buildings?
Wasn't that Rockefeller?
Larry Silverstein had the insurance policy, took out $1 trillion with a T, $1 trillion insurance policy 14 days before the towers fell. And then
didn't Rockefeller have something to do with that too?
Per capita, the owner of the building was Larry Silverstein, but $1 trillion with a T insurance policy, and of all the offices, all the buildings, all the floors, over 85% of the individuals that didn't show up happened to be, and I'm not going to say it, but Kanye Bush.
So then, like I said, when you brought up the whole
You
insurance,
tell me about that. And it happened to also launch a war. It was the
yeah,
precipice. It was the catalyst to start a war for the next, what, 21 years?
That
yeah.
war was already started. They just needed the reasons for the people to believe it.
That's what
You
I'm
know,
saying. That was the
it's right to
catalyst.
this day. It's right to this day.
Well, why not get the insurance policy? Why not have the catalyst? Why not have it, cause fear? Why not just propel it like it was, where everyone had
Because
an flag on their thing?
because it's
Never
cool.
let
It's
it
cool.
spit away.
How the song? It's cool when they do it.
Hold on,
It's a
I'm
crime
not
when we
done.
do it.
Hold on, I'm not done.
Yeah,
Not done yet.
because we don't
Not
know no
done yet.
better. We ain't
That was
supposed to
the
know no better.
insurance
Come
policy
on, come
on war.
on with it.
Hold on. That was the insurance policy on World Trade Center 1, 2, and 7. Also in the Pentagon, that they still don't have footage of a plane hitting it because it wasn't. It was a Scud missile that hit it. One, and then two, the part of the Pentagon that got hit. You're not going to believe this, but it happened to be the accounting department.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, on September, I believe it was 8th or 9th, 2001, Donald Rumsfeld came out in a press conference saying that there was $1.6 trillion that's unaccounted for.
Unaccounted for.
Yeah, unaccounted for. And unfortunately, a plane by some guys in Afghanistan that made it through CENTCOM, made it through our Air Force, made it through everything, made it through that's unfeasible for every pilot on the planet to do a maneuver, hit the Pentagon, and unfortunately those papers set on fire. So, and that was just before the 21-year war, which we would Troyans do as well for the military-industrial complex. But yeah, probably nothing happened there, guys. No big deal. Nothing to look at here.
But see, here's
Exactly. Nothing to see here, folks.
This is a coincidence. Don't be anti-American. That's
We just covering up treason. That's all. Nothing to see here.
Here's the deal, y'all. It's just thing, y'all. Like when
They're still looking for those WMDs.
So here's the deal. Like I did 21 years. So the very last school that I went to, it was the senior leaders course, right? In Fort Sill, Oklahoma, right?
Shithole in Lawton.
The base, but here's the deal. It's the base, it's the home of the Air Defense Artillery, which was once in El Paso, Texas.
Yep.
Right? So I get there, I'm in SLC, and of course I'm seeing everybody from every country. I'm gonna say that again. Everybody from every country. Right? They coming to learn our system. And it was right then and there. I said, you know what? Okay, I get it. Right? You know, because again, I look at it like this, and me and Zach used to talk about this all the time over the phone. The United States is the rich kid.
Yeah.
Right? And so you move into a neighborhood, there's already people there. You got all these goddamn toys, right?
And they want to play with them.
And they want to play.
I want to play too.
And so here it is.
You gonna share?
So Super Smooth.
Well, what you gonna give me?
What's wrong with this? So here's the deal. I teach you how to play with my toys. And then once I teach you, I was like, you know what? Go on and have them, right? But guess what? In 10 years, you need to come see me. I need to see how well you play with them toys.
Yeah. And if you real good, I might give you another one. I might pay you.
Exactly.
I might pay you. But here it is. I want you to keep 5,000 of my people over there. I want you to build something that looks extravagant and have some of my people over there. How about that? I'll take care of everything else. You know, I got people already working on it. The plan was already made. People don't understand. just like that. Just like hold on. I wanna know what Zach got to say about that because that falls into what I believe what happened when the boys died in Africa. You remember
Let me
that?
tell you something.
Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna take
Yeah.
a list break. I'll be right back.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
What the hell? What the hell was up with that, man?
Well, quite frankly, the American Empire, it crawls everywhere on this planet to include wet submarines,
It's an octopus.
every point of the planet to include 20,000 in Korea, 19,000 in Japan, 12,000 in the Philippines, all over Malaysia. If you want to get over into Africa, we're talking somewhere in the neighborhood of, I don't know, 45,000 amongst countries. If you get into Europe, it's touching every NATO shore that's there. If you get into South Africa, you're touching all of that. If we're talking about space, now we have the Space Force, so you better not break the atmosphere before you get fucked up. I'm telling you right now, it's everywhere. And people don't understand the relativity of it. When they talk about GDP, when they talk about debt, when they talk about this, there's no debt, there's no GDP, because the reality is we're America's security system.
Yesterday.
And
Yeah.
America's security system means the planet's security system. And we can shut your satellites off. We'll shut you off. And if we can't shut you off, we will orchestrate a false flag that will create a scenario that makes you look bad, and we'll use it as leverage to then shut you off. So it keeps going, and they leverage into North Africa. Here's the thing: people already forget about Operation. You guys have accessibility to Google right now.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give you a term right now. This happened while we were in. I'm gonna give you a term right now because you talked about Fort Sill. They moved Fort Sill, all air defense, the unit that we were in, air defense. They moved it from Fort Bliss at the time in El Paso to Fort Sill, but at the time it was ran through Fort Bliss and the issues they have with the cartels there on the border in Juarez. Can you guys look up one term right now?
Go ahead.
Operation Fast and Furious.
Oh. Yeah. Man, come on, man.
Okay.
Come on, man.
But
Quit
hold on.
playing with me, man.
No, but hold on. This was done by Eric Holder, the Attorney General of the United States of America, and Barack Hussein Obama, the sitting president of the United States of America at that time. This is not denied. This is not skated. There was no investigation. This was an actual thing.
That's what I said. We are the biggest arms dealers, and people don't believe that. People sit there and you wonder that now that you brought that up, that reminds me of they want to sit here and ask, like when people that don't know, when I have to educate folks, they sit here and they don't know, well, how did people in these countries get weapons? I said, what you mean how? We gave it to them. You got to go back, like for instance,
doing through the ATF under the jurisdiction of Eric Holder, which is the Attorney General of the United States of America, under the leadership of Barack Hussein Obama, the sitting president at the time. They sent military-grade weapons to the cartels in Mexico in an undercover plot, and they said they would track the serial numbers, because if they sent the guns, and then they would catch them red-handed because they had the serial numbers. Of course, the guns.
Same shit they do with us in America.
Okay, hold on, y'all.
Hold on. Of course, the guns went missing. And where did the guns end up? Libya. They ended up in Libya from Mexico via Fort Bliss. So the cartels sold them to terrorist organizations or governments in North Africa and Libya, where there was a failed state during the Arab Spring, and they overthrew a legitimate government that had the highest GDP per capita in that country, which was Libya. The highest African GDP on the continent at the time, before Morocco, was Libya. Before they overthrew the country, Hillary Clinton went in front of Congress and laughed about Muammar Gaddafi and said, "We came, we saw, he died." Before they almost killed our ambassador to Libya, our U.S. ambassador, where they had to go there in the middle of the night. Maybe you've heard of the term Benghazi. The reason you've heard the term Benghazi is because it's the same debacle. Now Libya is a failed state. It is a Syria 2.0. It is a sitting giant ready just for us to launch our military weapons and justify more spending and budgets within DC. And these weapons in Toyota trucks that still have serial numbers on them and stickers on the tires come from the US. And now they're covered. Now they're on camera.
Okay.
Excuse me. Hold on for a second. They took an individual who's a leader of this country, a sovereign leader of an African country, who brought the continent together, who was given actual aid and help to his African brothers, and they pulled him out of his home and they sodomized him with a sword before they took over the country. Sodomized, for people who don't know, I'm not going to be graphic. They took a literal sword and they shoved it up his ass on a live stream.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, no, but that's good, right? Right out of Operation Fast and Furious. My actually good friend Louis Farrakhan would say, "Brother Barack, my man." And you know also what Muammar Gaddafi did 2 years before his death when he was sodomized by a sword due to U.S. interference? He gave $5 billion with a B to the Nation of Islam in Chicago and Louis Farrakhan to the black community.
But they're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you that. They're never going to tell you that.
Louis Farrakhan spoke at his funeral. Kurt, you're aware of this. He spoke at his funeral and he talked about it. $5 billion to the black community in Chicago because he was so distraught about the violence. Yeah. And then what they would do is send guns to Mexicans to thugs who happen to, I guess they call them terrorists in North Africa, to pull him out of his home that was a solvent country and literally sodomize him with a sword.
The same thing. That's the same thing.
That's history, ladies and gentlemen.
That's the same thing that the CIA did when it came in regards to prior to the creation of Al Qaeda. That's the same thing that they did, and that was from Hillary. Because, like I said, I feel like Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. Huh? You broken up. I can't hear you.
I said, as Farrakhan would say, that is a wicked woman.
Exactly. That's why I feel like Hillary and Bill were put together. They were not in love. They were put together. That's why that man was in there getting head in the Oval Office, and it wasn't shit wrong with it. Okay? It wasn't nothing wrong with that scandal. That was the best scandal that has ever hit the tabloids ever. Okay? I don't care what nobody say. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But okay, all jokes aside, I feel like that shit that Hillary did, whether you feel like it was right or wrong, I don't give a damn what the email said. Y'all gave.
Hold on, y'all.
Hold on.
Listen.
I need to put. Hold on. She was the Secretary of. This is not presidential candidate Hillary. This is not Senator Clinton. This was Secretary of State Clinton, which is in charge of all ambassadors. This guy was on the phone for 6 hours calling DC saying, "There's people surrounding the embassy. I need help. Before our ambassador was killed in Libya.
It was a setup.
He was calling for 6 hours to our Secretary of State, to which she said, this is the argument. Look it up online. She was tired.
It was a setup.
Okay.
You want to know? You want to know why it's a setup? The reason why that's a setup because they came out with. Wait. They came out with a show. You might know the name of that show. It's called Scandal.
Yeah.
Okay. And it had it had a very particular episode that just spoke about what you just said, and then boom, the man just dead. You think that was on? People think that this. Oh my God, I don't know what happened to him, and I'm over here like y'all just missing the whole damn thing.
Yeah, because you know what? Okay, here's the deal. Scandal, that's on BET right now.
Scandal and The Simpsons been on point for years.
Yeah, but here's the deal.
Hold on. Can I say one more thing?
Listen, hold on.
No. Let me. I'm going to shut up for the next 20 minutes. And I'm going to put a bookend on this. Here's also one really important part. 7 days before they did this to this man with the sword, they said he has to trade the oil because there's huge oil reserves in Libya and all across North Africa.
Are they killing me with the bullshit?
You have to trade it in US dollars. To which he said, no, I prefer to trade it in our own currency because we will receive more profit and I would attempt to help my people.
Okay.
So
all right.
If you don't want to trade in the US dollar, you might want to wear a fucking helmet.
Okay.
Or,
all right. Here's the deal.
You don't find that to be interesting?
I got it.
But why the US dollar? The US dollar ain't shit.
Hold on.
No.
I got
You're
it.
not understanding what I'm saying. They told him he has to trade his oil in US dollars, to which he said, no, I don't. This is a sovereign country.
But why not euros? Why not euros? But the euro, but you know, I mean,
how about Libyan dollars?
I'm just saying. If I get the Libyan dollars, I get that. I get what he's saying. But whoever forced him to do that, why not say I want it in euros over the US dollar?
Because they were Americans.
Because the US dollar ain't shit though. But the US dollar at the time it ain't been shit in years.
No. It leverages the US dollar.
Yeah. Okay. That answer. I get what you're saying now.
You're missing.
Hold on. Stop the damn press.
No. I see what you're saying now. When you said it leverages, the same way it would leverage this.
It purchase it in US dollars, meaning they get
the press. Stop the press. Okay. Two things. Right? I got a homework assignment for both of y'all.
Well, good luck.
We got homework now?
Yeah, homework now. All right.
But
the homework assignment that I'm gonna give y'all is very simple. It's very relaxing. And the only reason why I'm giving y'all this homework assignment because for one, I'm damn near 50. I just seen this shit turn over so many goddamn times and it's motherfucking ridiculous. Okay? So the homework assignment, if you can find it, I want both of y'all to watch the movie Clue. It's a comedy, but if you pay close attention, right? It actually talks about the events that happened in Jekyll Island back in the early 1900s when Woodrow Wilson was president. Second.
So you want us to watch the old version of Clue or the new?
I swear to God, I ain't watching that movie, but I understand about the Federal Reserve on Jekyll Island.
So the thing, but let's watch the damn movie, okay? So and then second, just like what I said, right? I've been around long enough to see this shit turn over so many goddamn times till it's motherfucking ridiculous. Right? And then what I didn't see previous to me being born, I could actually really go back and look at that shit, and then all of this shit up until now, it motherfucking connects. Right? The Vietnam War started off of bullshit. McNamara.
It wasn't bullshit. It was heroin, which fast forwarded to fentanyl. Let's just make that clear. I'm just saying.
Like this, McNamara, the Gulf of Tonkin incident. McNamara is on record saying that shit never happened.
It happened.
Right? It never happened.
It happened just like Antarctica and the general that they told to go home.
The thing about though is this. So you look at what happened in Vietnam and you fast forward that shit throughout history, right? We can sit up here, these motherfuckers, they can tell us all goddamn day who actually really took down the Twin Towers. Well, we know who the fuck took down. We know who the fuck took down the Twin Towers. Just like say the shit that happened in World War II, right? the United States government was funding both sides. These motherfuckers has been funding both sides since forever and a day, right? That's just how powerful this goddamn country is.
Yeah,
So-
but to that, it's a new day because
Okay,
they have to. It's a new day, and they have to find other ways to make money because our generation, mine and Zach generations, a lot of us, we sit here and we talk with people like you, and we become mentally inclined. We on TV shows, we on city, we do community events, we are involved, just kind of like the what they call them, baby boomers. It's like we little baby boomers, but we a little bit more inclined. You're not finna pull one on me. I done seen this before. Grandma or grandpa done told me about this before. But at the same time, they're trying to find a new way to prolong the fuckery or the reindeer games, as I call them. Yeah. Because back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Yes. But now they're trying to figure out ways. Like I feel like if they can't get control of shit, they're gonna make the housing market crash on purpose. They keep saying we in a recession. Well, the hell we ain't.
Okay,
there's not no damn recession.
They'll create inflation. They'll create a recession. They'll create a pandemic. Listen, it's the whole house of cards is going to fall down. Kiara's saying the right
keyword: create.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. If they can't create the next one, it all falls down. Then they're going to start going back to World War II, World War I.
That's why
people forgot. That's Operation Paperclip. It's all going to be exposed if they don't keep the gimmick going.
I feel like this world that we live in, it's all in the form of, I'm gonna give you some homework, Curtis. Okay? Watch the movie, 2 movies. They real quick, short, sweet, and simple. Okay, you probably already seen one.
Yeah, probably.
The Matrix was a fucking documentary.
Yeah.
Yep.
And which changed my life. That's what pushed me into doing things. And people keep telling me, you should talk, you should do this, you should say this. And I'm like, well, everybody don't like what I got to say.
Yeah.
People don't like what we be talking about. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's a few people that don't like you. It's a people that don't like you. I don't give a fuck.
Me neither.
But at the same time, the second movie is called In Time. It had Olivia Wilde and Justin Timberlake when they had a little clock on their arm. And you know what? You know how shit hit the fan when he had all that time. Time is money, okay? And like how I say,
for real, it's good.
Time is not real. Time is something to control you. Yeah. Time is something put here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The way that we look at time is the way that they have us. Oh, I'm late. You know, when I go to work, they say, Smoot, when you coming to work? When I get there.
Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to be at 10 o'clock. I'm going to do the same thing at 12 o'clock that I was going to do at 10 o'clock. So what's the problem?
Yeah.
Don't rush me. I will not be rushed. Well, we gonna do this to you. We gonna do this to you. Okay, I'm going to go somewhere else and work. And they're going to let me work whenever I want.
You know what?
I don't know who the director was in that movie, but I'm gonna tell you right now, the subtleties in that movie and the way they move, they know what they're doing. I'm telling you,
that's real life shit. That is real life.
Also, it's Inception has some qualities of that, but what you're talking about with that movie, it's like it's more impactful because it's more relative to like what we're going through. But no. You think it's like a silly, stupid movie. No, it's very intelligent, actually. It's like very intuitive. And the individuals who are involved in it, and the way they do it, you'd be surprised because it puts you in a certain mind space. And Kurt, you talk about Star Trek, like sort of like moral lessons done from a directorial point of view. I'm telling you, you would really enjoy that movie.
Hey, Smoke.
Really well done.
I'm gonna tell you this, Smoke. Right? We talk about time, right? And like I say, I stayed in the Army long enough that I always had a pretty good idea of how time works. But I also had a pretty good idea how speed works. right? And then it became really evident for me every time that I would actually go out to the M16 range. Whether I had the zero and qualify or whether I actually really coached somebody to zero and qualify. It's almost like that I could see the round coming out the barrel and I already knew where the fuck it was going. It's almost like that I had that ability to slow it down just enough. And then by the time that the person that I was coaching shot their 3 rounds, before they actually got to the target, I already told them how the hell they need to motherfucking zero their weapon. And then when they got down there, they were like, well, damn, Sergeant Harris. You know, and it wasn't just for the simple fact that I had been in the game so long. It's just for the simple fact that, I mean, if you want to do that, then hey, by all means. But I had got where that I know how to slow shit down just enough. Pretty much like how you said when you go to work. Hey, I get there when I get there. I already know that you motherfuckers ain't gonna.
You on my time. You on my time. You on my time. You want me to sacrifice or sell my time for your money. The money that you already got.
Yeah. So,
like the song say.
Yeah.
You know, like I because everybody know I love UGK, I love Pimp C. Ain't nobody tripping because the money already made. The money is already mine. Okay. Exactly. So why you I'm still here. I'm right here. What you mad at?
This.
You know what I'm saying? I'm already here.
So, but for me, right? You know, I just like I say, out of the 3 of us here, right? Ain't too many people is going to agree of what the fuck we gotta say. But it's just for the simple fact that we've been in this shit long enough that we can actually really see it for what it is.
But I think
we just want everybody else to actually try to catch up in a sense.
I think. Hey, I gotta sign off.
What I know is this.
Kurt. Let me say something because I have to sign off. You guys keep going.
Okay.
What we need to do, because the attention span of individuals is one thing. A podcast is great. We could do it every week if you would like, or every 2 weeks. We have no problem speaking like this in a free format. We have no problem having context and things we could do. What we need to do is what we'll call the 48-minute documentary. And essentially what it is 60 minutes apiece. Because the attention span of a 3-hour thing or a 2-hour thing, it ain't happening.
Yeah, unless you Joe Rogan, it ain't happening.
No, it's just not feasible for people our age or just for mass consumption. So 16 minutes, 16 minutes, 16 minutes, it's 48 minutes in total. Each person gets their point of view across. And essentially you give your spiel and it shouldn't be PowerPoint, but there's easy ways to edit that, like edit now. And we do 16 minutes, 16 minutes, 16 minutes. And then what happens after that, we should do them subsequently 2 times a month, which what should happen is we should air it, and then we should have a discussion about it. Then we should air it, have a discussion about it. And the discussions could go as long as who gives a fuck. It's like getting into the content. And we could look at that point at the comments that individuals said that are like relevant, not just haters or trolls, but like, things that are relevant. So it's consumable. It's 48 minutes, 16 minutes apiece. And then, in my opinion, it's like the best way to do that. Because what we're saying, like in today's show, I think everybody had a gem here today. But the point is,
you want to edit the gems out. You want to edit the gems so you get your highlight.
Like, let it run. Let the dog hunt. You gotta let the dog hunt. Like, if the dog's not hunting, what's the point? Like, we need traction. We need subscribers. We need to start generating income. Oh, it's all about the money. Well, no, it's not all about the money, but it's kind of about the
content. Content is what's gonna get you. You don't get into certain shit for the money. You don't get into nothing for the money. You get in it for the love, for the knowledge, for the wisdom.
What you're going to hear somebody say is, I heard that on the 48-minute podcast. And what the 48-minute podcast is 3 different points of view that happens to be in documentary form that subsequently has a review on the actual content. It's brilliant. But
Look, he done came up with the whole concept, and I'm down with it. We just need an editor.
I was just sitting here as we were speaking, and I was thinking to myself, we're cutting each other off. We're saying these things. Everybody has something important to say. Everything like has not something to prove, but like something important to say, something they want to share. And it's like, how do we do that most eloquently? And I think how you do it is provide a 16-minute polished product. It gets released. You get your point of view across, and then subsequent to that, you look at the reviews, you look at everything, and then we have a conversation about the content, and you do that 2 times a month. So 4 total. So every single week there's content released. Maybe there could be more. It could be every other day at some point, but I don't know what you guys think, because like if we're stepping over each other and somebody doesn't get to share something, they're not quite getting. Get out.
Other than having somebody kind of like a format like on Undisputed, how they had Joy on there to kind of, like a media,
coming down.
Yeah, like a mediation, like we can tell them
to moderate us.
Well,
somebody that's attractive, like Joy. That's why I specifically said Joy.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, like with all due respect, but we might benefit from a Joy,
Yeah. Well,
honestly, and also it'll attract, as shallow as it is, it might attract individuals. Period.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm cool with that. Somebody to just say, "Hey, break." I mean, and you see it on every radio show. I listen to a lot of talk radio, different types of talk radio.
Centrally located.
But the thing is that you always have somebody on that show that's gonna be the mediation. Like as soon as they talk, everybody stops talking. They go to the break, and then they come back and they start it off. So just like how you said you was gonna sign it off, somebody else would initiate that. Hey, Zach, you gonna sign off first? Kurt, Snoop, whatever. But somebody has to.
What was that show on ESPN? Was it called with Michael Wilbon?
First Take?
Yeah. Around the horn.
Around the horn.
Pardon the interruption.
Yeah. PTI.
Yeah.
And like if you kept talking, they just muted your shit.
Yeah, that was it. Or hold up. Around the horn would do that too, and then it turned into Rome is burning. He would hit that horn on your ass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's how
Rome, they were good at it.
That's how I learned about Bomani Jones. Ain't nothing to fuck with.
But so let's go. I mean, so
maybe we can even do like one-offs, like a documentary. Maybe we do it like once a month. But I like your idea and the scheme of like, let's get a moderator and they're just a wrangler essentially, and like they have to know what the fuck we're talking about though. They can't be biased.
But they have to know what they're doing too. They have to know what they're doing, and they have to understand that all 3 of us have very strong personalities, and what we say is, like, hey, I'm coming at you. We ain't in each other's feelings. We not going. We might, to some people I might hurt your feelings, but to other people that have never heard us before, like, damn, they pretty raw. We don't think that of each other because we've been talking like this for fucking years.
Exactly.
We always got each other's back. There's no question about that.
I'm gonna have a beer. I'm gonna have a drink or whatever after this fact.
They'll be like, "Oh shit." Shit.
But see, that's the thing. That's the thing. Whoever the moderator is gonna be. Just like I say, y'all see me turning this up too many times.
Hold on.
And then my wife is being shy.
So with the format, Kurt, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
I gotta go. I'm trying, brother. I've been here for 2 hours.
Go ahead.
Can we? So with that format, I like that. We'll have a moderator who's unbiased, and then maybe each and every one of us like provides, I guess, 3 topics that we like agree on, and then there's like a time clock or something.
Yeah. We're gonna have to have some type of schedule, so we can do that. So let's do something. I mean, what come Monday? By Monday, we have to have some type of, I know we're gonna get topics. Topics and subjects is not a problem between the 3 of us. We all 3 of us is in a different shit, but we're gonna have to find somebody to edit and somebody to moderate. If they could do both, that would be great.
But here's the thing: who we gonna get that's gonna actually really be able to moderate?
Intern. We have to have a dry run of it. You want to be next? You want to be a part of the next big podcast that's about to take off?
Yeah.
We gotta that's gonna moderate.
Well, you find some people, I find some people, and you find some people, and then we
I
work
can't
out.
find nobody. Y'all do better with that than me.
Go ahead, try it out. You was giving us homework and shit. You can't find no damn moderator.
I just told y'all to watch a movie. So, hey, look, this was good. I mean, if we can actually really try to break it down.
Does the moderator need to be a female that's attractive? Just like on the rest of these sports shows.
I mean,
my wife that would be biased. No, my wife said if she wasn't working, she'd be the moderator. But
yeah, I mean, personally, we have to.
Then I'll get a text message. Come on, you got an extra room down in Florida?
But put like this, But the thing about it though is this is one of those things that.
No, it has to be somebody who's
moderator. Put like this: we are 3 very unique individuals, and to ask for somebody to try to moderate us,
we're gonna have to pay them.
In a sense,
you literally have to pay these individuals.
We're gonna have to pay them. We're gonna have to pay them to deal with us. Period.
Yeah, exactly. So
that has to be the one serious thing about this, because we have no problem, because everything that we are asking each other to do, we already do in our own time.
Exactly.
Like what I'm about to do right now, I'm gonna turn on the news. I'm gonna watch YouTube news. I'm gonna watch CNN, Fox Net. I'm gonna watch everything right now, and I just got off of work. I'm not thinking about taking no shower. I'm not thinking about eating. I'm thinking about getting me a beer, getting me a cigar, and I'm watching the news, and then I'm going to go to sports news, and then I'm going to place my bets, and then I'm going to lay down. So we already do that in our own daily schedule, but at the same time...
Here, me and you are just kindred souls. I'm already 2 beers in. I got a couple bets in a
Hey, look, I'm trying to hurry up and get off.
On the backside,
so I can go get another beer.
Okay, hold on. Let's do this.
Oh, dude, this moderator, God bless this. They have to sign an NDA because they're going to sue me. I guarantee something's going to happen.
Hold on. Let's do this. Let's do this right now, right?
Someone's going to sue me.
Hold on. We're going to end this right now, right? Then I'm going to, review 5 minutes of this. And then I'm going to send it to both of y'all. And then basically what y'all do, y'all send it to whoever that y'all can send it to.
Okay.
Right? Y'all send it to whoever y'all can send it to.
You guys need to watch.
Just tell them, hold on. Just tell them, and look, just tell them this. Look, you ain't got to watch the whole 2 hours plus. But the longer you watch it, the better it will get. Okay?
Okay.
So the thing about those this. Let's advertise ourselves the best way we can in Ohio. Let's bring in the crowd. Let's bring in the crowd.
Do you know why I said watch the Kanye West Alex Jones interview? I was on for a 7-minute stop break.
Okay.
Yes.
You should have like this. So I tell you what.
You know I got the back line into Alex. I call InfoWars. We're on there for 7 minutes. This guy was talking. You need to watch the fucking interview. This guy was
okay, I will.
But here's the thing. Next week is launching. Twitter next week is launching 54-minute videos where you could have a podcast.
Okay.
That's perfect for us.
I mean, I get it. I'll watch the link, or you send the link to me, and I'll watch it.
You know how many people were watching that stream yesterday? 31 million.
Yeah. So
I mean, but that took, with respect to Alex Jones, that took a lot of hard work.
If we could scoop up 16,000 that are legitimate, who gives a fuck?
That's a lot of that's a hard work. That's hard work right there. That's a lot of work ethic. That's also going to go into it.
I made these connections. I know these people. But here's the thing: it's not all smoke and mirrors. It's like just our content alone. When we get in the right channel, we get in the right wave. We're gonna do our own.
It's there. It's there. We just need to sculpt it a little bit.
Get on the front page.
Another thing too, right?
I would.
Another thing too, right? Another thing too, right? What I want y'all to do, right? Because I really don't think that, and me and Zach can talk about this. I really don't think that my content is actually really getting out. So once we leave away from here, right? I want y'all to actually really think. I'm gonna send y'all the link, right? But like, you ain't gotta do it today, say Sunday or Monday, right? I want y'all to actually really go on my channel. It's Harris Martindale, right? I want to see if y'all can actually really pick this shit up on y'all's phone, because when I had my other channel and I would tell people to actually really type in my name, they could never find my channel unless I sent them the link. So I know YouTube is up to something.
It's an algorithm.
You know, I can type up anybody else's channel. I can type up anybody else's channel and it's good. But anything outside of me actually doing a live show like this, can't nobody want to find me for whatever reason. So
do you think we can do an AI avatar?
Come on, coming.
Do you think we could do an AI avatar?
Yeah, you got the little body dress on.
Like a shot clock, or like if you're in a boxing gym, it just has rounds. Like,
yeah, this my little grandbaby.
And edit it.
Yeah,
that's
hey,
what's up?
Give my little grandbaby.
All right, well, I think that's a good note. Hey, that's a good note to wrap it up on, y'all.
Yeah.
Much love.
Right there.
All right. All right, cool. Hey, much love to y'all. Y'all be careful, be safe. I'll holler at y'all.
All right. We're gonna holler at y'all.
All right.
Hey, hold on. I'm looking at the screen right now for the first moment. Respect to the old school Florida Marlins flat bill, yeah.
Hey, I'm representing Florida all day. You already know.
Yeah.
Last time it was Philly. Now it's Florida. I don't know how you drinking them Four Locos, but I love y'all. Goodbye. I see y'all later.
All right.
I'm gonna drink both of you here shortly. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know you finna sign.
Listen.
I know you finna sign out. Yeah. I know you finna sign out, and I'm finna sign out too. So, that's how I always did my stuff. Hey, with that being said, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell Big Dan, tell Big Bertha, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa, and your meemaw, motherfucker next door across the street around the corner. Boss Harris, aka the Crazy Uncle. Till next time. Hey, I'm gonna holler at you later, dog. Go ahead and do what you gotta do.
Love it. Peace, brother.
All right, now. I'm gonna holler at you. I know you ain't getting no beer. Ooh, I gotta